The Other Way, who is 90 Day Fiancé star Shekinah's ex-boyfriend Berto. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way newcomer Shekinah Garner has a daughter, and this week, she revealed startling details of her relationship not only with Sophie but also with her ex-boyfriend, Berto. Esthetician and events co-host Shekinah is 41 years old and found love internationally when she flew to Turkey on vacation. Shekinah was on a dating app where she came across Sarper Güven, a 43-year-old model and a personal trainer. Shekinah and Sarper have dated for just 5 months, and she's already planning on going to Istanbul to get married to him. Shekinah chose to ignore the red flags about the self-confessed playboy who claims to have slept with 2,500 women. In her introductory episode, Shekinah spoke about her Amish past and how she rebelled as a kid for her parents to finally let go of the lifestyle. What Shekinah forgot to mention was she was in a long-term relationship with a man named Berto many years ago, with whom she has a teenage daughter. Shekinah also mentioned that she sent her daughter to boarding school. Shekinah's ex-boyfriend is 27 years older than her. Before leaving for Turkey, Shekinah said there was a really important conversation she needed to have. She greeted Berto by saying, "You look so handsome," as they hugged. She had her first real relationship when she was 23 years old. Berto was Italian and 27 years older than Shekinah. They dated for 4 years. Berto had been living in Costa Rica for 9 years because he opened a hotel there. Shekinah said that Berto missed so many important years of their daughter Sophie's life by being in another country. His absence was a reminder of why Shekinah and Berto's relationship didn't work out. Shekinah has a 15-year-old daughter with Berto. Berto and Shekinah co-parent their 15-year-old daughter Sophie. Berto kept coming back to Los Angeles occasionally to see Sophie. During episode 9, Berto came to know that Shekinah was relocating to Turkey. She told Berto that she wants Sophie to know what a healthy relationship looks like. She has an atypical mother-daughter relationship with her daughter. Sophie has seen Shekinah going through challenges in her past relationships. Shekinah doesn't like sugarcoating things with her daughter. Shekinah told Berto that she would be coming back to America every 5 weeks during Sophie's boarding school breaks to meet her. Berto doesn't support Shekinah's decision to move to Turkey for Sarper. Berto revealed that he sold the hotel in Costa Rica and would have all the time in the world to spend with his daughter. He told the cameras that Shekinah has made mistakes with the men she chooses because she bases her choices on looks rather than morals and principles. Now, she was going for a man in a whole different country, culture, and lifestyle when she didn't even know Sarper that well. Berto accused the 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way star, of not making her daughter a priority. Currently, Shekinah appears to still be in Los Angeles, so her decision to leave everything behind for Sarper may not have materialized after all. Smell a spin-off. 90 Day Fiancé fans believe this shocking family will get their own show. An unexpected 90 Day Fiancé family could be getting its own spin-off soon, if some wild fan theories are to be believed. The last time a family of 90 Day Fiancé cast members was cast in a spin-off of their own was the family Chantel. Pedro Jimeno and Chantel Everett's feuding families were so entertaining that the family Chantel ran for 5 seasons until the couple got divorced. There were rumors that Elizabeth Libby Pothast's family would get a The Kardashians-like show as well, but it looks like interest in the Florida-based clan fizzled out. However, a new family seems to be ready to claim their place in the franchise, considering how popular their sister's storyline is on 90 Day Fiancé Season 11. Reddit user Urban Mask shared a screenshot from the latest episode titled, "I Smell a Spin-Off." Would you watch Shekinah's family? The fan revealed they didn't mind a show about Shekinah's family, but they'd want it to center around Sarper. A top comment by 64CA said, "No, can't stand any of them. Sarper is the only good person," Princess Perez 94 wrote. "They're just wannabe Kardashians hard pass," and Ancient Actuator 7443 posted, "Yay. They totally came dressed for TV." What Shekinah and her family potentially getting a spin-off means. Fans would rather watch something with Sarper instead. Shekinah spoke about her family for the first time during her introduction on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 5. Shekinah revealed that she grew up in Tennessee, and she is the oldest of 6 girls. While her parents weren't born Amish, they loved the Amish lifestyle and had a lot of Amish friends. They decided to raise their daughters as Amish. However, Shekinah rebelled against conservative rules to pursue a glamorous life instead. Over time, fans met Shekinah's sister Sheria, who disapproved of Sarper instantly. In 90DF Season 11, Sarper, who has moved to America, has to get approval from Shekinah's daughter Sophie and her sisters so he can marry the Los Angeles-based esthetician. It was Sarper who made the scene worth watching, and, as fans have noted, a spin-off revolving around him rather than Shekinah's family could make for a better watch. Sarper went from a hated bad boy cast member to the most lovable one in the franchise just for Shekinah, who's being mean and cold-hearted towards him. Still, a spin-off featuring Shekinah's family also means more screen time for Sarper. Our take on 90 Day Fiancé fan theory about Shekinah and Sarper spin-off. Will fans see more of Shekinah's sisters in future episodes? Shekinah and Sarper's relationship is much more than her sisters Sheria, Zayona, and Mariah giving their approval to their sister. 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 viewers tune in to watch Sarper as he has turned over a new leaf once he tried to prove to Shekinah that he can be trusted. Sarper is more than his past now, and he has managed to build a level of trust with Shekinah as well as the fans. Shekinah's sisters may have dressed up well for TV, but that doesn't mean they will become regulars, since the feedback they've received is largely not positive. What happened to Shekinah Garner after 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 5? Shekinah Garner's life has changed significantly since appearing on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 5. The Los Angeles resident lived a glamorous life a few years ago and wasn't looking to date seriously. However, she fell for Sarper Güven during her trip to Turkey. Shekinah found Sarper fascinating because of their common interests. She adored that he wore makeup and shared her passion for fitness. While Shekinah only dated Sarper briefly during her trip to Turkey, it was enough for her to realize that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with him. Shekinah faced many challenges before her relationship with Sarper. She grew up in an Amish community, where she couldn't express her femininity by cutting her hair or wearing makeup. Living under strict rules turned her into a rebellious teenager. As she got older, Shekinah decided to break away from her conservative upbringing and embrace a more liberal lifestyle in Los Angeles. She started experimenting with her physical appearance and eventually became a successful businesswoman. The 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way alum also dated a few men and found happiness in becoming a mother. Shekinah's journey on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way. Shekinah asked Sarper to stop training women. Shekinah decided to showcase her romantic journey with Sarper on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 5. While she had reservations about his playboy lifestyle, she chose to pursue a relationship with him. During her time on the 90 Day Fiancé spin-off, Shekinah traveled to meet Sarper and learn more about him. She discovered he had slept with many women and hadn't been completely honest with her. Shekinah also struggled with Sarper's controlling behavior. In response, she set boundaries by demanding him not train other women, stop smoking, and publicly commit to their relationship. Shekinah is still with Sarper. Shekinah and Sarper are still madly in love. In the following season, Shekinah and Sarper faced even more challenges. They discussed Shekinah's plans for rhinoplasty and worked through Sarper's anger issues together. Surprisingly, it seems like the couple somehow survived another season. Shekinah and Sarper now appear more in love than ever. As of October, Shekinah and Sarper are still together and going strong. They enjoy posting romantic photos and videos on social media to showcase their loving relationship. Recently, Shekinah responded to a critic by proudly writing, "They can only come for us, not be us, so they mad." Will Shekinah ever return to the 90 Day Fiancé franchise? Shekinah and Sarper may feature on 90 Day Fiancé Season 11. Shekinah and Sarper are still heavily promoting their latest appearance on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 6. They enjoy using hashtags from the show in hopes of gaining more views and likes. The couple is very performative about their relationship on social media, seeking attention and creating jealousy among critics. Viewers will likely watch Shekinah and Sarper in the next season of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, and they may even surprise fans by appearing on 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, showcasing Sarper's journey of arriving in the United States. 90 Day Fiancé, Shekinah Garner should never have been cast. I don't think she's the right fit because of her red flags. Even though Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven have grown on fans and have started to look like the perfect match, I still think that this 90 Day Fiancé won't last long, all thanks to Shekinah's many red flags. Shekinah is an esthetician from Los Angeles who met actor, model, personal trainer, and former exotic dancer, Sarper, during a Turkey trip. Shekinah was impressed by Sarper's makeup skills. While Sarper wasn't looking for a serious relationship, he decided he could change his playboy ways for the American beauty. However, as Sarper began imposing restrictive and controlling behaviors on Shekinah, he came across as selfish. Shekinah was made to shut up when Sarper talked. Shekinah seemed to like being bossed around, but she drew a line when it was time for Sarper to come to America. Since the reins of the relationship were in her hands now, to me, Sarper has started to look like a saint compared to Shekinah, who is running the show and dismissing his needs while doing things that benefit her. Shekinah is too jealous. Shekinah's insecurities were exposed on camera. When Shekinah first joined Sarper at his gym in Istanbul and saw him with a client named Ezgi, she was instantly bitten by the green-eyed monster. She watched Sarper train the woman for about 2 seconds and pulled him aside to remind him they'd talked about female clients. She immediately left the gym, miffed since she'd assumed it was going to be a male client. I watched her telling the cameras that she'd asked Sarper not to have any women as clients and not to kiss women on the cheek while greeting them, and he was doing both with Ezgi, adding to Shekinah's frustration. He can have his little time with his client. I'm not gonna sit and watch it. 30 minutes later, Shekinah sat in the gym dressing room, sucking on a lollipop. Sarper was angry with Sarper, wondering what he had done wrong. You didn't catch me on a bed with another woman, he declared. Sarper snapped at Shekinah as he tried to convince her that kissing on the cheek was a tradition. You shouldn't do it, you're dating an American girl now, she told her boyfriend, making him angry. Sarper pulled a lollipop out of her mouth and threw it on the floor. However, Shekinah couldn't understand why Sarper was being disrespectful when she was the one feeling uncomfortable. I watched how Shekinah didn't let Sarper have the last laugh. She punished him after finding out that 90% of his clients were women. She said it was shocking news to her. It made Shekinah feel uncomfortable given Sarper's past. She didn't understand when Sarper told her he needed to train women as it was his job and he needed to make money. It appears Turkey doesn't have a lot of women trainers, hence men had to take up lady clients. Shekinah set rules for Sarper that led to his financial situation becoming increasingly worse. Before Shekinah, I was doing financially good as a personal trainer. Sarper revealed that since his clients were 90% women, his income had been cut by 90%. He had no savings left. It was all due to Shekinah's jealousy and her inability to put her trust in Sarper, with whom she wanted to spend the rest of her life. Shekinah is controlling with her partner. The tables have turned for Sarper and Shekinah. In an interview with Parade, Shekinah spoke about how they did not stick to traditional gender roles in their relationship. She revealed that early on in the relationship, she had decided that she would be the one going to meet Sarper all the time. It made her feel like she was stepping out of her feminine role and being more masculine. Shekinah wanted to look like a pursuer, and this is how she justified Sarper paying for her flights. I guess since Shekinah thought Sarper was never coming to the US to be with her, he had to take care of the bills for her flights. He said, I will do that. And so he always has. Shekinah also confessed that Sarper was doing more than just paying for Shekinah's flight tickets with the little money he had left in his bank. He was also covering everything for her when she went to Turkey. Shekinah admitted that she had never paid for anything when she was with Sarper. I'm sure she was saving a lot of money when she went to Turkey because she never reached for her wallet. Shekinah knew that Sarper was dipping into his savings a lot, and she even felt bad about it. But at the same time, he's a grown man. He can figure it out, she added. Shekinah carries a lot of anger. Shekinah is just as short-tempered as Sarper, if not more. A fight between Shekinah and Sarper turned physical during an episode of 90 Day Fiancé, the other way when he tried to snatch her phone away and ended up pulling out her hair extensions. Sarper admitted that he regretted what he did and accepted that he was mad at the time, but his emotions changed the next day. He knew he had made a mistake when he grabbed her phone. He mentioned he could have been more calm because his intention wasn't to hurt Shekinah. I'm convinced all Sarper wants from Shekinah is for her to be happy. Strangely enough, Shekinah forgave Sarper for his actions. Her decision to excuse his bad behavior was looked down upon by viewers. Shekinah was called out for setting a bad example for her daughter because she took Sarper back despite him having done something inexcusable. Then again, Shekinah has revealed her angry side on camera several times, just like her partner. Shekinah was furious when she returned to Turkey and noticed that Sarper hadn't gotten rid of the bottles on his shelf, which reminded him of the 2,500 women he'd slept with. Sarper had failed to understand why Shekinah had come to his house with this mood, and she snapped at him by saying it was his apartment that had made her feel upset. Shekinah proceeded to pull out a binder containing 143 pages of a love letter an ex-boyfriend had written to her as she weaponized it to give Sarper a taste of his own medicine. Viewers also watched Shekinah storming off the set of The Other Way Tell All when she became upset about a woman named Didi confronting her. I've dealt with this past ever since we met and I'm tired of it. Sarper had met the American woman online and was still in touch with her, which offended Shekinah. Didi had a lot to say about Sarper and Shekinah's relationship, including her theory that Sarper was put off by Shekinah's possessiveness. However, Shekinah ultimately left the set in anger, saying she was sick of hearing about Sarper's past from his bottle collection to his notebook to Didi. She wanted Sarper to be the man she expected the 90 Day Fiancé star to be. Shekinah was even angry about Sarper not coming sooner to console her backstage.